I'm a true believer that Bellisarius and Ramses can take on the world. Now, I just want to go through something with you, Sneakyy.
I just love it
Do you
how it's just
notice
like, I'm just sorry. I just love how it's just like, look,
Well, to be honest with you, yes, more damage is great, but this part here, reducing the enemy commander's might by 80 is actually pretty significant. That obviously, when you have strategy, you're getting that strategy resistance as well. That's a really good question. Do I like QSH? No, not really. I was actually looking at the Sagam tier list, and I kind of don't understand why he put QSH so high. I think he is kind of junk.
as you guys can see, it's going to be a jam-packed episode on Whale Insights with today's guest. Yes, we're going to be talking about different ways to mid-max, save up your research speeds, even Season 6 hero talk, and obviously giving you tips and tricks along the way in today's episode. So you know what to do. Smash like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this series. And again, if you want to watch more of them, I do have all of these Whale Insights in a little playlist you can watch on the channel. So check it out if you've missed any of them, because we have a few of these coming and we're going towards that good old episode 10, which is kind of crazy already. So with that, let's get into today's episode. So welcome guys to technically episode 5 of Whale Insights here. We've got a really fun guest on, an nGenSteam did kind of reached out on Discord wanting to talk about a few different topics, which we are going to go through, as well as obviously what you guys enjoy, a juicy formation kind of advice, insight from a big kind of player in the game that is obviously putting his weight into the Empire. So with that, I'm going to pass it on to obviously the guests, let them introduce themselves, and we can start on with today's episode.
Hey guys, it's nGen. I'm from Empire 106. I'm an Aussie. Today I am, mostly looking forward to talking a bit about my favorite march, which is the Belly March, as well. We're getting towards the end of our tree, that being the facilities tree, almost at the new tech tree. So I just wanted to talk a bit about what my plan has been, what my plan will be, and maybe some tips and tricks, and just a bit of other things going forward. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a good one. I think everyone is going to look forward to this one because, again, like, talking a little bit different on the pikeman spectrum, we always have, obviously, the warrior pikeman taking the spotlight, and it's nice to see, I think, tactical pikeman getting some actual love, right? Because a lot of people do like the Bellisarius, the Elizabeth, and obviously the good old Ashoka march out there. And it's going to be interesting to see his future plans. And we're going to also discuss to do with some Season 6, because I know you guys in the comment sections have been asking me about some Season 6 stuff. So I thought I'll do a bit, he'll do a bit, and we'll have a little bit of fun with it. So with all that, obviously we've gone through obviously the intros. Let's talk about then your formation. Let's go into that big old formation screen for us and kind of break down this Bellisarius match and maybe give us the insights of what you obviously like about it, what you don't like about it. And I'm going to obviously ask maybe another question that maybe midway through as you go through, just because like I have probably for the lowest spenders, I wouldn't say free to players, but obviously the lowest spenders, probably a question that they would want to ask you. So I'm going to let you take the spotlight, dude. Give us some advice on this Bellisarius match that everyone loves.
Very keen. All right. So first of all, Bellisarius. Why is he the best? Well, to be honest, Elizabeth does it all for Bellisarius. She gives him the healing that he needs, the survivability. Really makes him shine. And obviously, I actually picked up some tips and tricks from other Whale Insights. I wasn't initially running our Crushing Impact. I was running double attack, and since then I've sort of changed over to using this ring here, the Radiant Guardian ring, which is it's made the difference. I'm noticing more damage, which means more healing, which that's what I really love about him, his survivability and his ability to take on practically anything but swords. So we've got a bit of a different difference to everyone else I've seen so far. So I'll go through that in a second. But yeah, any questions about my match so far?
No, not really, because I was gonna laugh actually because the fact that of the whale insight. So, is it because, as you said, you've switched from double attack obviously to crushing impact on belly? Because even though in an ideal world it is technically beneficial for like trying to stack iron, conquering hoof as often as you could, right? But from testing, and I'm guessing from yourself now in experience, is it just better just to get a skill of damage off to get the assimilation damage? Is that what it's coming down to? Why a lot of the Bellisarius' marchers are running this now, do you reckon?
Well, to be honest with you, yes, more damage is great, but this part here, reducing the enemy commander's might by 80 is actually pretty significant. That obviously, when you have strategy, you're getting that strategy resistance as well. But when you have might, you're not getting the might resistance. So being able to reduce some of that as a Bellisarius really helps when you're fighting against things like Cyrus, when you're fighting against things like Lubu and obviously Zhao when he comes through. But yeah, I just think it's better. And when I'm proccing more with Radiant Guardian, it's a good life, honestly.
All right, then let's get into the juicy bit, which is Elizabeth, right? Because I think everyone, including myself, all says she is the glue. She's the thing that actually makes the engine roll and actually keep alive, right? So give us some insight to her. What are you running on her? Especially I can see like the Ring of the Falcon choice too. But maybe like some insight on this hero compared to what others might not know.
Great. So what I've seen others doing, people are running her damage, and why do I think that's not a good idea? Mostly because already the 10%, I think it's 10% assimilation healing, like the lifesteal that we all love and know, that is kind of huge. The healing she does just baseline is massive. Now, what I'm running, let me just find it, remind myself, this one. No, this one.
Yeah.
What I'm running is healing gems, and practically for you to make up that 3.45%, for example, in damage, you would have to have an increase of 3.45% across your team to get that extra healing.
Okay.
And just between these 3 gems here, you're practically getting an extra 10% healing, which is already huge. Now, is an extra 10% damage better? Yes. Are you going to get that with Elizabeth, like over your whole march? No. So, for example, practically if you increase Bellisarius by 3.45% with his double attack, like with these gems here,
Yep.
you are getting 3.45% with his damage, not with the overall march. Like, yes, it's great, but you're not getting the full healing that you can.
Yeah, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, practically, if you put anything but these healing gems in, you're not doing it for yourself, is my humble opinion. The healing is crazy, the survivability is crazy, and that's why I think Ring of Falcon is crazy. Now, I did see in the Whale Insights as well, someone running Ring of Serpent on Ashoka, which I thought was absolutely nuts and such a crazy good idea. I would have to do my own.
It's Caiaphas for you. Everyone loved Caiaphas's episode, I'm going to be honest. And I think before we carry on, I think Caiaphas himself said he will come back on. So maybe we'll get him towards the end of, the season again. But yeah, it was Caiaphas with the serpent Ashoka, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So I would have to test it. If you're getting like, let's say, a 15% damage buff versus, like with the healing effect you get from Ring of Falcon, like a 15% increase in healing, everyone would much prefer 15, like a 15% damage buff, but that 15% damage buff needs to be like across the team. So that needs to be buffing your Bellisarius enough to get that extra 15% to make up for the healing that Elizabeth is going to be doing. Obviously, we all love damage, that's great, but being able to survive for longer amounts of times, especially when it comes to things like rallies and one-on-ones, it's just huge. Bellisarius is absolutely massive when it comes to the healing.
I agree with what you're saying. I was going to say, I just agree with what you're saying now on the Elizabeth stuff, because I have seen now, I think, every combination of Elizabeth, which is weird, right? And it is one of the one heroes where people have tried troop normal attack, hero recovery, and in Caiaphas's case, he just went turn-based damage because he went like, look, if my triple offensive does more damage, I'm happy. And I was like, that's fair enough, but me and Steve were talking about this the other day, and it was like, it makes sense on paper, but what happens then when Elizabeth's, triple offensive, it rolls on the third mode, because the third mode is increasing their damage taken, so now, well, your turn-based skill gems haven't technically netted you any damage or any value at all, so it's interesting that you've gone down, like, hero recovery effects, because it is technically just trying to increase the baseline of a simulation. And I know people are saying, or didn't know this worked, and I know CS, the customer support, keeps giving mixed answers, but if you click on Elizabeth for us now, it does tell you this in-game. So if you click on her skill, assimilation does allow you to hit conversion there. So if you hit converting on the actual keyword, boom. Conversion based on damage dealt gets some, and it says by healing effect bonuses. So it does work with healing effect gems. So it makes sense that if you're able to get, as you've put down, right, healing gems, which is over 10%, and you've got the Ring of the Falcon, that's basically almost 30% of your damage basically converting in. And obviously it's not 30% because it's not going to just add 10% on and add 10% on. It'll be obviously like, I don't know, converting a total amount of like 15 to 20%, I bet you, the way they do that,
that's
addition.
correct. It's like a percentage of that 10%.
Exactly.
But it's just the fact that the healing is huge. Like being able to heal for 10% of the damage you do it's
massive. Yeah,
we love it.
Yeah,
so that's where the extra healing is so big.
Yeah, and it does, like you say, make sense, because then that's obviously benefiting both of the other two heroes then. And it doesn't matter what Elizabeth does, because her job isn't, as I always say, like, people's jobs don't have to be dealing damage at the end of the day, Yeah, even the mount, look at that, even the mount, this is what I'm saying, like, you can do some insane amounts of lifesteal, basically. That's the best way to put it. Like, you're increasing your lifesteal gain from your Bellisarius, technically your Ashoka, and maybe in the future, if there's going to be a better alternative to Ashoka with, who knows, DGG or, and someone else in the future, who knows? Who knows if someone else comes better, right? So do you want to talk about your Ashoka on this lineup, and then we can move on to, obviously, the bigger topics to do with research and the next push, right? Because as everyone can see, we are hitting the 5 stars and stuff, but there's one milestone everyone's getting at, right? So your Ashoka's running Radiant Thunder, which is nice. I think Steve does the same. What's your thoughts on that so far in performance wise?
Well, it's just the fact that I found that Radiant Guardian was just better on Bellisarius. This was the only spot to put it. I don't think it's the best. I think it would fit better on Elizabeth. So if I can get Serpent on Ashoka and Serpent ends up just melting, then I will definitely take Falcon off. But I've just gone with what I've thought was right initially. But this is why this Whale Insight series is kind of amazing, because we all get to see how other people are taking on their builds and see how we can improve our own.
Yeah, honestly, it's true, because like, I think everyone now seeing the difference of all the the Wales like marches, especially like these Bellisarius marches too between Caiaphas's and yours, like how people approach the rings, and even how I actually really like that Ring of the Falcon. I think that Ring of the Falcon could be potentially like one of just the best rings, because if it is just increasing your healing effect, which is what your conversion allows you to be increased by, like, it kind of feels like a no-brainer to me now. Like, yeah, we don't care about the recovery. I'm going to be honest. I don't think anyone
It does go to
cares.
waste.
Yeah, like, I don't think you care about that, though. Like, I think the fact that you can grant yourself sometimes troop reduction, which is great, and the fact that you're getting lifesteal on a purple ring. That's what like, I think people don't realize. It's a purple ring at the end of the day. We're not going for a 4,000 insane best in slot ring, which is going to cost you an arm and leg to get to, right? This is something like most people, even like lower spenders, and I wouldn't say free to players, because obviously free to players will have a super challenge trying to get Ashoka and Elizabeth into Mightiest Governor events. Sorry, guys, but that's what, Whale Insights is all about, telling the truth, right? But it is nice to see, I think, the rarity differences, you know what I mean? And how you, like you said, how each of you guys have tackled the march. So, is anything else you want to say about it? And then we can kind of move on.
Just the last thing about
the
ring. Yes, it does go to waste, that healing effect. But a great thing about it is every single level you level up, because it's on, the healing effect is on this part, not this part. Every single level you level up with the Ring of Falcon, you are getting a bonus with this.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not like waiting for the full 10 levels to get the buff. Like for example, from level 28 to 29, I would have got a buff on this. So it's sort of nice just to feel the progression as you're going, rather than having to wait for those pips.
Yeah, like the milestones, right? When you hit
Exactly.
the prestiges, as I sometimes like to joke about with them. Yeah, no, it's great. Honestly, I think people would have enjoyed seeing that and seeing a different take on, obviously, Bellisarius, and giving more advice and info on this. So obviously, thank you for that. So let's get into some juicy stuff then, right? Because as many people can see, we're at 120, and he's got 5-star heroes. He's got some good power matches out there, and what he wanted to show off and kind of actually talk about, more importantly, right, was where your facility progression is right now and the next stages of it, and kind of talking more about the importance, right, of this whole area. And I'm going to let you kind of go for it and let you take over and kind of, have the spotlight, man. Go ahead.
Thank you, cheers. All right, so what we're going to talk about is what I'm going to do and what I have been doing with my facilities. Practically, I have been saving, since I got to 0 Citadel renovations, I've been saving all of my research because I saw what Citadel renovations did. I didn't have a look at it. If anyone is here and doesn't know what Citadel renovations are, go look at Sneakyy's video. It helped me. It helped me a lot. So that gave me a decision going forward. And then, yeah, I got to 0, realized that you can get more research speed, and I love research speed. I am an avid believer that research speed rules all, because of many reasons that I'll go into. But the first thing is, I'll show you what we've been piling up. So we have over 1,500 days of worth of universal and research. I've been saving it. Now, what am I going to do as soon as I unlock the new research institute, which I am 500, 600 from? I'm going to spend it all. No, I'm not going to spend it all. I'm not going to spend it all. Guys, we still have, if you get your Citadel renovations, the only thing I was looking at when I first did my Citadel renovations was my university, if it loads.
Okay, that's interesting.
This research speed, yeah, I know. What's interesting to me is people looking for small gains. These sorts of games, I've played a few gacha before. about patience. Patience will always pay out in the end. Just bear with computer loading.
Yeah, that's good.
You see me drawing squiggles in my screen?
No, it's not working. The squiggles, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's just because BlueStacks, guys, doesn't capture the squigglies, unfortunately.
He told me to download something else. I should have listened. Anyways, here we are. So that's 9% extra bonus there, just from those 3 pips. That's, if you go to here, that's an extra 10% research there from those 5 pips. Practically, what my recommendation is to all players that are anywhere near here, stop spending your resources. Wait until you have hit your 3rd renovation with your university. Wait until you go straight into the 5. I saw Sneakyy, you doing 1, 1, 1, 1. Research.
I'm a
nice.
I'm a turtle. Look, I'm a turtle. I like taking my time. I'll do it one at a time, you know. But I am doing research main. I'm doing research first, though. I always try and get research done first.
Yeah, it just means that all of your research that you're doing is more efficient. You're going to get things done quicker. And I will do an exact example for that. Because I've been saving from here, what I'd recommend is, for low spenders, treasure hunt.
Sweet.
What I'd recommend for low spenders is you hold here at 0, wait till you get 3, wait till you get 5, spend there. I've been a bit more patient since I'm probably going at a bit of a quicker pace. The next thing I'd recommend after you've got those and spent there, you go through, once you get to unlock the Research Institute, spend there. Only because to get the 2 pips in this, to get the 5 pips in this, it's an extra 14,000, I think it was, points. So, that will take a while. But for me personally, I've saved so much already. If I wait for those extra 2 pips, for those extra 5 pips, I will, on top of my already 1,500 going on 1,600 hours. Oh no, it's about 1,500. Sorry. I'm saving about 230 days worth of speed ups just by waiting for that little bit extra. What most people would usually consider a lot, I'm just saving by being patient.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm in the same phase kind of like you are now, where I am in that final slow grind to get down there. And because I know, like, I need to hit these certain speed up milestones, like, I'm not in the rush, to, like, get it done, like, because I know how long it's going to take, and if I can get the research, say, tree unlocked, but don't even have the speed ups to do it, like, what's the point? Like, I've just burnt myself out and kind of zeroed myself out for no reason, and then I'm going to be feeling burnt out myself. So I like what you're saying, because it's true though, like, with research, and it's funny because as of recording this, people won't know technically until this comes out technically tomorrow on Thursday. On Friday, I have my free-to-play series announced. Like, it's actually my full video is going to come out where I've been secretly playing. And the biggest thing on that is research. And I have done what you are doing right now basically as a free-to-play player. I've always maxed my research building and my research tech and everything to research, because how you said it, like, you want to get these these percentages up, because overall, like, it's crazy that you're saving 230 days worth of speed ups. Like guys, just saying that out loud to yourself, like, you are saving 230 days worth of speed ups. That's almost a year worth of speed ups saved. Like, what the hell is that about?
It's very exciting, and that's why I was happy to be patient. I knew it would pay off in the end, and just when you get these 3 pips here, when you get these 5 pips here, that's almost 20%. I think I added it to 19%. You're saving just by holding your resources, waiting until you get those done. And it doesn't take that long even for free to players. yeah, you can get it done easily, and you're saving 20% of whatever you spend into your research.
Yeah, it would be massive. I think 100% right for, especially if you're watching this as a free-to-play player. It sounds stupid, but if you are getting close or thinking about getting close to this stage now, I would do exactly what he's saying. Like, and I am thinking of like updating some guides and stuff, especially when it comes down to here, especially because of the new research institute. You got to remember, guys, like when we made all those videos and stuff, like everyone at the time, no one really knew how big of a deal it was going to be. Let's be honest. Like, we had a power creep, right? But we didn't realize how much of a long-term power creep it were and how good it were for technically like your account to power up and actually fight against other players. And just, if you're not 1/4
Once you get the new research institute, yeah, look, I'm at the upper echelon of probably players that don't have the new research institute, and I can't compete with level 140s. If you're going to keep up, guys, you need to be practically saving and maximizing your research, because when you do unlock the new research institute, you are going to be wanting to push that as far as you can to be able to keep up with the giants, with the krakens, and still stay relevant.
Yeah, sweet. So I think everyone, hopefully, if you don't get that whole segment, then you know what, you need to rewind it, rewatch it, re-listen to it, give me some extra watch time, because I'd love you for that. I'm just saying. And let's move on to the next bit, because obviously research speed and time is kind of like part of it, but you obviously had more like topics and info you want to talk about, especially to do with like future planning, right? And going on like what else that you were going to do outside of just your research and push to 140, right? For other players who might be in these predicaments, maybe just trying to make decisions on the go when they're playing this game.
Yeah, I mean, let's maybe go into my marches.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing that we haven't mentioned yet, and it is the fact that I am probably the only person that plays meta that doesn't have the Warrior Pikeman March. This is my farming march. I don't have a single hero from the Warrior Pikeman March.
Oh my god.
Watch
no. The chat. I can see the comments. Don't anger him, man. How can you not have Cyrus? Oh, oh my god. He doesn't even have man. Oh my god. My bones are actually breaking. They're tweaking right now. What's going on, guys? What's going on?
No. So
why?
My take on it is it's been changing too much. Warrior Pikeman has had too many heroes. I just wasn't on board with the constant bringing in, and I sort of felt like it was going to happen. Also, I feel that Warrior Pikemen are for people that want to have people attack them. I don't want that. I want to go attack the Warrior Pikemen. I want to be the farmers. I want to kill them. I want to kill those farmers, getting all those merits. I don't like them. So I like people that can really fight on the field, and just melt them. So
Ramses.
I'm a true believer that Bellisarius and Ramses can take on the world. Now, I just want to go through something with you, Sneakyy.
I just love it how it's just like, I'm just sorry, I just love how it's just like, look, these two strategy marches are taking on everyone. I don't care.
But Sneakyy, you haven't seen something that should be a bit inspiring to you. Spot it.
You're running Korean archers.
I'm running archers Ramses. Why am I running archers Ramses? We all know the unit counters. I'm running pikemen. That's my main. I need something to deal with those pesky swordsmen. Belly cannot take on swords, and his main weakness is Ramses' swords. And who's Ramses' swords' main weakness? Ramses' archers.
That is so true.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
I've got a question for you before, because I know someone's going to ask this straight away, because you're in Ramsey's Archers. How does it feel going against Lubu's then?
I want to cry, and I'm going to want to cry right up until I 5-star Jug.
Okay. So it is just one of the things that I think people obviously I know people are going to mention it in the comments and stuff, but look, guys, the one thing I'm going to say about this game, compared to a lot of games that I have played, right? I am happy that unit counters actually work. I'm just going to say that. Like, I am happy cavalry come up to archers and just literally slap them and bend them over and just blow them up, right? Because they're the glass cannons, and if you let the glass cannons go to town on the swordsmen cry. So I like the fact that each of the unit types do have their counters. Like, so that's kind of like my take on it. Obviously, people are going to keep commenting like Lubu, versus archers, blah, 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 blah. But Lubu's going to do the same thing when he sees a Bellisarius or a fucking Cyrus. Let's be real. Like, if one of those two marchers see Lubu, he's going to cry and fall over, So, what world are we living in here? Right. No, sorry, carry on with the 5-star Zhu Liang, because it is a massive increase because of the Kimen effect, right?
Yes. You start with 1 second, you're getting the practically the damage reduction from the might damage, and that increasing by double the amount of time when it does activate, and increasing the reduction effect is just crazy. Like, I am going to be going from I want to run away from Lubus to we'll give it a try.
I love it.
The thing is that, like Bellisarius, Lubu still hurts. He hurts. Don't get me wrong. A 140 Lubu still does some real damage to my Bellisarius, but Belly kind of just melts Lubus either way. So that once I'm at 140 as well, they're gonna be suffering. So I truly believe that Belly can take on the world, because Belly can take on Cyrus as well. I've never had a problem with Cyrus's, unless once again they're 140, and Ramsey's as well. Ramsey can just delete all the swords that are going after my Belly.
I like Ramsey's too. Like, as people probably seen in my last video, doing like my account update, like I were like talking about it, and it's like it just feels like to me I have to just 5-star him, because he is just so good for me, because he's going to be an archer, which I can use, and I'm an archer guy, as people like to joke about. But at the same time, he is swordsman, and the fact that he's a swordsman, you can just flip between it. So even if I have like the level 80 swordsman gear, I can just whack it on him and just put some strategy gems from like my Napoleon march or something. I can just easily swap the gems over and it's going to start working. So I like him a lot. I am actually quite a firm believer in Ramsey's, I'm going to be honest, but he is one of them heroes that I think everyone has to just bite the bullet and just agree. Like, if he's not 5 stars, he's just not worth it. Like, you have to 5-star the hero. Like, he's at 3 stars, he just doesn't seem to be what you expect him to be. And then when you hit the 5 stars and he's generating that extra rage, that extra 12 rage over those 30 seconds, every second, it's just bonkers. Like, you see how much he can just sustain himself, to be honest, as a hero. So yeah, it is one of the things that if you are planning on getting a Ramsey's, as you guys know on my channel, I like to be honest, you have to 5-star him. So if you can't 5-star him, don't bother. And that is the honest truth. Don't bother. And it's simple. Just go for the next hero. It's easy as that.
I do agree. I mean, start working towards him, but don't use him before 5 stars. Now, I did just want to go through one thing, which is another thing I actually picked up from Whale Insight's video. You guys are doing God's work here. So I didn't run Charlemagne on Ramsey's. I must admit, I was running Theodora, and why I've switched over to Ramsey's is, first of all, I got that tip to get Radiant Guardian onto my Bellisarius, and I was running this ring on Bellisarius. So now we've swapped that over, and what they were saying is Charlemagne has the stats for this ring.
Yeah.
Lofty Mountain is just increased by Charlemagne's high base stats. So yeah, we've swapped over from Theodora to Charlemagne, and now it's running more efficiently. It's running better. As I said, doing God's work here.
Yeah, I think, don't get me wrong, a lot of people obviously talk about running like Ramses, Zug, and Theo in that combination, because if you try running Ramses, Theo, Zug, it doesn't work, but when you flip them, it does work. And I get what people are saying, and it is super tanky, but what you kind of realize, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one who watches combat when they play this game. The game's all about speed. Like, let's be honest, it's about speed. Like, how fast can you get your burst off, and how fast and consistently can you keep doing it? That's where you see Miyamoto's machine gunning you down with a Lagertha, right? That's why Bellisarius is so goddamn good, because of obviously the double attack states and all of his damage output, right? You've got Ramses doing the same thing, machine gunning damage out, and that is technically because the Charlemagnes enable him to get there faster. And even Lubu, right? Every hero in this game that's meta right now, when you watch the amount of damage they deal, it's fast, quick, insane burst. It's not about slow, grindy fights, like, for example, like a hero like Suleiman, which, if the meta did that and it was a slow down damage meta, bro, Suleiman would be fucking kicking it, bro. He would be laughing. But unfortunately, the game isn't like that. Like, do you agree with that? Or, like, do you think it's a lot slower than I'm making out to be, you know?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. So I think it's a mix. Like, you either need to have the survivability to, like, last someone's initial burst, or you need to be someone bursting heavily. You need to be destroying the enemy before they even get something off. So yeah, I do understand that survivability is a huge thing at the moment. Like, that's exactly why Napoleon is running a bit behind the pack in terms of yeah, actually being able to be efficient and not die is the main thing. He just gets nuked.
Yeah, that is true. Right. Should we, anything else you want to talk about with these formations before we move on to arguably some of the, I say, final topics, which we want to talk about, which is like the season 6 stuff, right?
Yeah. So only other thing I wanted to quickly go over was this march.
My boy.
I'm not running a cavalry march right now. I don't need it. Why am I running this march? This beautiful march. Well, 2 reasons. One reason, I can run Otto at the start, first place, when I am doing arena. Practically, he is the best tank in the game. You get 7 seconds of no one can do anything about him. He's just invincible. So he is the best frontliner in my opinion. And then when you take him out of arena, you put Ram as the first place, and he's just buffing everyone.
And you got the and his commander skill is really good for it, right? With the damage reduction and healing that you're just doing in that giant AoE, right? With the, what is it, relaxation state, as they call it. Nice little relax during, war. Why not? I agree with what you're saying there. Otto is king in Apex. Like, if anyone has not played against an Otto in Apex, just wait. Just you wait.
Yeah.
And when your marchers are stuck on this guy for 7 seconds, and you're just seeing your enemy's free marchers like maul you down in those 7 seconds, you can explain to us why Otto's actually a really good hero. And it's cool that he is got these 2 different spotlights in these areas, right? You put him in second position for open field, put him in first position for Apex. So yeah, I love it. What about QSH? Do you like him, or do you think he's just there at the moment until we do find someone better?
That's a really good question. Do I like QSH? No, not really. I was actually looking at the Sagam tier list, and I kind of don't understand why he put QSH so high. I think he is kind of junk. He's just in the place right now as he's the only one that can fit the role. do I think I would use anything else over him if it came about? Probably, but he's definitely an interesting hero. But yeah, I think he's pretty underwhelming, and so is next season's MGE hero, in my humble opinion.
Right, that's interesting. I was gonna say because the one thing with this match, which is kind of good because of that, is apart from maybe Otto, I would say, every hero can technically stay at 3 stars, which is kind of nice. So QSH kind of does that job, like you say. He's there if you hit that damage immunity, right? That's what makes the match even tankier. But if there was a better, if you don't hit it, it's like
he's not doing much.
Yeah, and it is 10%. And don't get me wrong, people might say, yeah, but it is still high. It's the same as kind of like maybe Yodit, but the differences between like Yodit and QSH is, if I remember correctly, QSH's skill is turn based, right? So it's happening on you know, on a cooldown, compared to Yodit, which can try to trigger it in a turn off, say, Miyamoto. And if she failed it, or if, say, she was comboed with Lagertha, even better, right? Say she failed hitting the damage immunity state on the first proc, well, Lagertha's going to give it that judgment to try and hit it a second time. Exactly. And then that's already better. Like, you're doing more damage, you're getting more chances of getting into that state, which hopefully keeps you obviously alive, and that's what kind of Yodit does, right? Because she has more chances of getting it active off, and that's where you can feel the tankiness. But I don't feel like you feel the same with QSH. Like, the only good thing with QSH is the fact that, like, he can recover units and he has Peaceful Haven. Let's be honest, like that is the combo, and because of that, that's probably holding a lot of weight for him. But as soon as you got to think, any decent martial pikeman comes out on the same level as Ramcam or Otto, where they're going to do some really cool signature skill base effect while, you know, reducing damage, and then they're going to have some sort of Peaceful Haven ability built in, which is like a unique skill. You know, he's going to get.
Has Peaceful Haven.
No, I'm saying, for example, like how Zhu Liang, right, has his unique skill, the East of the Borrowing Winds, right? Yeah. So you expect the future martial pikeman that would replace QSH to have like a unique skill that's literally just going to outdo the healing and reduction that we have already from QSH himself. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely, and that's sort of how I feel. So the other thing with this match is I do actually plan on 5-starring both Otto and Ramcam, because I'm going to use them as a support match. Like, it's kind of, I've actually had people tell me not to do it. Mm-hmm. My rival on this server, he is Turkish. He's like, don't do it, but I'm doing it anyways. I listen to my own opinions, so
that's fair.
I reckon that the buffs that they will provide when I do get them both to 5 stars will be pretty intense, because I'm not a Kraken. I only have a couple of matches. I'm just focused on those matches doing more.
Yeah, that's why, like, I think out of all of them, if I were going to do it, like, if I were going to even 5-star one of them, it would always be Otto to me, just because of his 5-star. His 5-star, obviously, giving damage reduction is just crazy. Like, he gives you damage dealt increase at 5-star, as well as damage reduction. When you compare it to like our like Ramcam here that you've got on here, yes, he increases, as you can see, his damage reduction from the thing by 3 seconds, and he's increasing the base attribute by an extra 2. But if you compare that to the fact that if you read Otto's 5-star, it's a complete unique addition. And because it's a unique addition, that's stacking as well, each stack. So at 5 stars here, as you can see now, within the area, you're additionally by 2%, and you're increasing that by 0.5% for each additional enemy troop that's engaged. That's up to 3%, and it lasts for 3 minutes, and it stacks up to 3 times. So that's nearly, 15% damage reduction, potentially, if you hit the max, like, go on it, that you can stack up. Like
Which is easy
15%
to
damage
do as well.
reduction, and you're dealing, and he's naturally increasing damage dealt. That's such a massive tempo swing to me. Like, if I were going to 5-star any hero, I'd always 5-star Otto over Ramcam. And then if you wanted to go for Ramcam, I would go for Ramcam. But that's me. That is me. I'm not obviously, I wouldn't say I'm the smartest as people try to make out, but hey, I'd love to hear people's opinions on that on the comment section. What would you go for, 5-star Otto or 5-star Ramcam first? I think that would be a really good little heated debate in the in the chat down below. Right, okay, we kind of like keep going on these really fun tangents. Honestly, I've been enjoying today's episode so far. So let's kind of finish it up with the season 6 stuff, because season 6 is on the way. Many people have been asking me about season 6, and yes, you guys have. Check the comments on loads of videos. You're asking about Scipio, King Canute. Don't worry about King Canute. He's going to be a monster. All of this jazz, right? So with season 6 on its way, what are your plans then? What's your plans? And then I think afterwards, I'll give a little bit of my plans and potential what I'm going to be thinking.
Ooh, spicy. All right. Well, absolutely. Let's go through it. So, first of all, my belly match. What's my plans with him? Nothing, because they're not introducing anything for him.
Yeah.
And he is my main match. He's going to stay the same, which also means I do want DJG. DJG is looking great, but I'm actually not going to use her next season. I'm going to 3-star her. And I'll just keep her that way. DJG will be so good. They'll line up with Hannibal, DJG, and Ashoka. But until something else goes along with Bellisarius, I can't take Ashoka out. Now, I actually think that that Hannibal march has more synergies than almost any other march in the game. Being like DJG buffing both of their stats is kind of ridiculous. I think that's going to be a huge march when I do go through with that. But for right now, just because I'm putting everything into my pikes, I'm going to keep it that way and just see what happens in the future for DJG.
What is it? Is it William or DGG? I'm just trying to remember which one. That gives you damage reduction based on the different types of skills.
I haven't looked at it in like a couple of weeks.
I think it's DJG.
Oh, no, that's the different types of skills. No, that's the MGE hero. Yeah.
That's William. Okay.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. What's your thoughts on William? Because he is, and I think Sig kind of said it right, and I was in his chat, and we were kind of like going backwards and forwards, and we both kind of came to the same consensus on it, where it's like he seems really interesting, and he seems one of these heroes where you've got to do a lot of work in order to get what you want out of it, right? Because you are trying to get the one hero with an active skill, one with a turn-based skill, and kind of like one with a signature skill or a passive skill, right? So you try to hit 3 different damage types to go and get the damage reduction against them, which is hopefully the meta that you should always be trading positive, right? But do you think it's too much work for the reward, or do you reckon it might be a shock? Because everything right now, guys, that we're going through is just speculation. We're having a little bit of fun here, because even myself, that's what kind of how I look at it, like I think it's going to be a bit too much work to get there. But what about you?
Yeah, it's too much work in the general senses. It's just like it's really niche. Like you just prefer damage reduction in general. It's great that he gives so much, but right now there's not the attack type like that. Obviously, your double attack, your passive, your turn based, and your active. So there's just like not the right heroes for that sort of thing to be coming into the game right now. As well, I just find it a bit niche. Like he looks like a really good hero.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Scipio then. Sippy cup, as me and Steve are going to start joking, because it seems like Scipio is going to be crazy for obviously being motor marchers, and what we've been seeing, the Ramses as well is even going to get benefited off it, which is kind of Kind of scary, I'm going to be honest. So, what do you think on Scipio then with the warrior swords?
I think Scipio is going to be huge. He's going to get 5-starred. That will be my biggest buff for this match.
So who are you removing? That's the hard question, right? Because I bet you everyone in the comment section is asking that. Trib? You getting rid of Trib straight? Okay. What about your Lagertha though? You got a Lagertha too there. Oh,
she's not 5-star there, man.
but do you need her to be?
Yoda.
Do you need her to be 5 stars though? Because Sippy Cup with Lagertha and Miyamoto. Come on, man. You're going to drop T-bombs on everyone. Like, they're going to look and the next minute you're going to crit them for half their health, man. Like,
it's just, you're missing so many stats when you compare a 5-star to a 3-star.
mm-hmm.
Look, I would love to put leg in, but for now, my Yoda's doing the work. I should actually compare the two. I think I have compared the two actually, so I think my 5-star Yoda was better. But Scipio will be a huge addition to the swords lineup. It will actually sort of make me want to put more into my swords lineup as well. So I'm excited to see what happens with Scipio. I feel like my Ramses Archers are going to have a great time next season.
I know you're going to be excited for obviously the last one, right? The biggest one that everyone's hyping up for, Mr. Zhao Yun, because that means you're going to see a lot more cavalry back on the field, right? You hope.
Yeah. I mean, my Bellisarius is going to have a good time, but I'm not running a Lubu march either at the moment.
My noticed.
Lubu march is sitting nicely down here, away from everyone else. So, yeah, we're not going to put too much into Zhao Yun. I do obviously have 5-star, but yeah, I think for me personally, I'm actually most interested in Scipio, and DJG will, in future seasons, absolutely top off that march. So yeah, very excited for season 6, and it should shake up the meta a lot.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. But for me, if everyone's wondering, I am definitely going for Scipio. He just seems too insane. Like, from everything I've seen, and even when we were reading him, my brain couldn't fathom how strong this hero sounded for a support. So definitely grabbing Scipio, and obviously for me, I'm gonna go for Zhao Yun too, just because obviously I do run Lubu's when I want to, because he's a free match at the end of the day, and even at 3 stars, the hero just feels unfair. Like, he just generates so much damage from out of nowhere because the critical strike that is at. So I'm going to be doing the same. When it comes to the others, William and obviously DDG, I'm obviously not a big tack guy. I think DDG is going to be super interesting to see how well she is, like you say. And I think William and Conqueror is actually interesting to see if the testing's done, is it worth the work? Like, is it worth getting the different skills on the march and having this really weird, wonky march that's not all focused on secondary strikes or active skills, but it does the job on the tin, right? And just to kind of finish off, obviously for others, and I know I kind of missed him off, Mr. Aslan, the archer. I'm looking forward to him because obviously I do think, for myself and for the archer guys, that we're probably going to start seeing Aslan Primary. So we're going to be running Aslan Primary with Mehmed and Mulan. I think that would be the best way you're going to run that march until the future, because he just seems way better than Bellevue, and Mulan is still better than Bellevue. So it kind of like makes up for that. Is it going to be meta-defining? I don't think so. It's going to be better for the Warrior Archers, but if you got a Ramses Archer match, you can still run that, and it's probably going to do just as good, if not better. I'm going to be real. So, right, to kind of swiftly move on before we get too long, we're on the breeding grounds, the riding grounds. So let's talk about some mount stuff that you want to go on, and then we can finish up today's episode. I think everyone's been enjoying so far.
Last thing, I just wanted to quickly talk about this.
Yeah, man.
Here. Practically, I think that if you're a low spender. Honestly, these are so cheap. These are so cheap. If this is just my last final note, I wanted to tell all low spenders, you can get these for very cheap, and practically they're buffs. Like every one of these is a significant buff, and up to about 1,000. Like at least personally, I was going to like things were costing about 1,000.
Mhm.
You know, then it was just getting ridiculous. But up to about 1,000, that was, you know, you're getting some decent buffs. So that was just my last little tip that I wanted to shove in there.
Yeah,
But
no.
yes, thank you so much for having me on this episode. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for chatting.
It's been great, mate. Honestly, if you want to go back onto that research thing as well, I'll just give you like my 2 cents, because it was obviously Whale Insights that talked about it, because obviously it was a super interesting approach from the very first episode. You guys should check out the first episode. I've got a whole playlist of all the Whale Insights that you can literally just watch if you just want to watch these Whale Insights. They're all in a little mini playlist on their own. The way I'm looking at it, and I think this is the way I think most people should look at it nowadays, is this left side. I think most players should go for it in the early game, to the point where if you have bred, for example, your mounts enough, and you've already got 3 good mounts, and I mean, like, say, argument's sake, it's a purple or legendary horse, and you've got a really good single mythic trait, or like a double trait of like a legendary and maybe like an epic of some sort. Let's just kind of be a bit realistic instead of trying to say double mythic, double, you know, all this bullshit, right? Let's just say you got some good, decent traits on there. I think once you've got to that point, I think you are right where you can just ignore this left side, because why do you care about increasing all these chances even more for such a high cost still, right? When in theory you're not going to be breeding as often. Do you get what I mean? Like, you don't really care about the outcome, because you've already got 3 or say 6 horses, because you're running 2 marches with good attributes, good traits. So it would be more beneficial for everyone when you're in that position to go to the right? Because then you are just going to be naturally gaining so many more stats for equipping the horse, you know? And then at that point, you are just passively building the mounts. Do you get what I mean? So, like, it was interesting that you brought it up, because obviously episode 1, Thingy did the same thing where he kind of ignored the left side, and I'm telling you, his pike ones there were either 8 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 across all 3 on the first ones.
That's crazy.
He had so many more stats. It was bonkers. And he was just saying, well,
too.
yeah, because he was saying, well, you got to think about it in my logic. If I put a horse onto my pikeman now, even if it's a bad horse, it gets all of these stats anyway. So why not go for those stats and then get the horse later? Which I see what his argument were, and I feel like there's a middle ground where it's as simple as you go to the left side until you've bred 3 to 6 horses, which are good horses, because that's all you need, some good horses. And then once they're good, you can ignore the left side, because that's shown you, okay, we've got enough chances now to keep probably, you know, replicating this at a more consistent state. Go to the right, get stats, become bigger, become powerful, you know, like hit harder. So I think it's really interesting. I wonder what everyone else's thoughts are on the animal research bit, because I think it is the one area where many people have got, they're either team left or team right. You know what I mean?
I think always go to the left first.
Yeah.
Look, if it's cheap enough that it's worth all the extra buffs. I'm like an efficiency person. That's why I love my research so much. So like, go to the left until it's unreasonable for you, and then start heading to the right. Like, and just ignore the left forever, in my honest opinion. But definitely go there first.
Yeah, definitely. Right. I think on that note, It's been a pleasure. We've hit, I think, the longest Well Insights episode, so everyone should enjoy episode 5. It is a milestone in all of them, which has been really interesting. That each episode's getting better and basically better and better. I think this is episode 5. See episode 5, episode 6. I do apologize for anyone who's probably watched this and going, how is this episode 5? This might have already been out. I don't know. We do so many of these. It's hard to keep track of. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you to obviously Engines for coming on, giving obviously his insights on the Bellisarius matches, on research, timers, maximizing obviously of the speed ups from doing so, going into the season 6, talking about formations, and even at the end here with the mount. So anything else you want to just add on before I finish up and say goodbye to everyone properly?
No, I'm happy. I'm just glad to be here. Glad that I can share a bit of insight. I am the resident 106 meta Noah. I have my own text guide on our channel for meta. So yeah, it's just great to get my opinions out there. If I'm wrong, then please tell me. I live for it. And if I'm right, then I'm glad I've made some people a little bit smarter.
That's it. At the end of the day, it's a learning experience that, like I said from the beginning of the channel, look, we're going to get some things wrong, we're going to get some things right, but at the end of the day, guys, it's a journey together. We're going to learn, and we're going to get better at the end of the day. So I love the same spirit that you've got there, man. So with that, everyone, hopefully you've enjoyed, obviously, today's Well Insights episode. And if you have, you know what to do, smash a like, comment, and subscribe. And check down below for, obviously, the Eneba creator link if you want to support the channel a little bit further. Obviously, if you top up any Apex or Empire coins, it goes a little bit cheaper with some cashback deals, and which can go quite crazy in the holiday seasons. But with that, see you guys later. You know what we say here. Stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.